My favorite noise of the week, and I hope it's yours as well. As I welcome back Vinny. Vinny, we're on fire so far, 2025. We're both in the green on the
Yep.
standings. Check out, we just taped, which released yesterday, the Louisiana Derby doubling down. And today we're going to record and look at the Turfway Jeff Ruby Stakes. So we'll make a doubling down. We do a daily double for the two races, the Oaks and the Jeff Ruby Stakes for Saturday, March 22nd. Vinny, we had a good way to start 2025. Let's see if we can keep it up. And now the races become worth a lot more as we put up 100 points for your Kentucky Derby standings. This race obviously run over the synthetic, won by Endlessly last year, a horse that was clearly all cut out for that surface. A lot of horses here today going turf to try the dirt. You got some horses that are running on the dirt trying to get the points to get in for the Kentucky Derby. So a lot of strategy in who gets entered where, and we'll get into that in a minute. But let's start with the Bourbonette Oaks, a race for the Oaks, the fillies. Going a mile in the 16th, a purse of 300,000, field of 14 with a couple also entered. Vinny, there's two horses in here that I absolutely loved. Different from you. Usually we have one horse that we kind of
We agree on.
but I think one of us will get through the first leg based upon who we
I
have
hope so.
covered.
I hope so.
But yeah, exactly. But otherwise, we both can't win, at least on this one. You started off with your on top horse, Admit. What do you like about the number 3?
I like this horse has looked much better in its 3 starts on the synthetic here at Turfway. 2 wins and a second. And the second, yes, was to the 11 White Rocks, but it was also going a mile, and Admit was gaining late in that race. Just ran out of time. I think the added distance today is going to help. I do think they're the top. I think like just coming into the race, I think they are the top 2. I like this one stretching out a bit. You got Blame on the top. You out of a Warfront Dam. I don't see any reason why this one can't stretch out beyond a mile. I think this horse just kind of makes sense, and since I figured it was going to be at least second choice here, I thought this was a good horse to use on this double.
Claiborne, bred and owned. Thomas Drury with Irving Moncada aboard. And then you also decided to use 2, something about her.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Walsh in these type of races. So maybe that's just me, but basically the same reason why I like Admit. Something about her stretching back out. Her last race, her first race of her 3-year-old season was against White Rocks at Admit, where she also ran a closing third, ran out of time. But you go back to the race before, she won a grade 3 at Woodbine, going a mile and a 16th, and even the race before that, the grade 2 at Keeneland. Yes, she finished 9th, but she only finished 9th by 3. That was a very close race. And Mayday Ready is a very good turf filly. So I like she's got back class. She's got a win. She's got a win at the distance. I just think stretching out, this is where these 2 horses I think will just run much better than where they did at 1 mile.
Ascending figures as she enters her 3-year-old season as well is always something that we like to talk about. Don't let them bounce until they actually do. I love a horse here, Vinny, the number 8. This is a horse I considered singling, to be honest. Golden Sunshine, out of the Hardy Barn. I think this horse is absolutely going to love the added distance. As it's gone longer, this horse has done really well with Medaglia d'Oro. Fitful Skies is the dam who has had 2 horses with 19 starts, 5 victories for 26% at routes on the dirt with a positive ROI. So the breeding there tells me that the distance won't be a problem. Right here on RaceLens, Vinny, they'll tell you really quickly. You see these 3 blue markers. That means that they're key races. So that means that at least 3 horses have come out of those races with victories. So right off the bat there, really quickly, without even looking, I can tell you that those races had some winners out of it. As we mentioned, increasing speed figures. I think this horse is going to be running late. Not that there's a ton of speed in here. That would be my only concern, and the reason I'm going to pick the 11 as well is that early speed angle. Obviously, only breaking the maiden so far coming into this race is going to have to get better. That 94 last time out, though, will certainly put the horse in contention here. And at 8-1 was another reason I felt like the race was a little wide open, where I'm going to take a shot with a price with Golden Sunshine, your number 8. Was this horse in consideration at all for you, or?
What? Yep, actually was. It was. This was actually my last. This was my last cut from this ticket. I decided to go 2x2 rather than 3x2 in this spot. Just because I'm kind of worried that 2 horses I picked in the next leg might be more heavily bet than their morning lines imply. So, but yeah, I completely understand with this horse. I agree with you. So if he beats me, he beats me.
And one thing, right? 8-1. Well, look, this horse has taken money the last 4 starts. Has been the favorite
Right.
4
Yeah.
starts
You're
in a
gonna get
row.
the best price. Yeah, you're gonna get the best price on him today, for sure. And I agree with you. I think this horse added distance for this horse should be no problem.
The other horse I'll use is the 11. You mentioned a few times is White Rocks. Although outside, this horse will most likely be your early speed. Has gotten out to some 7-8 lengths on the lead last time out in the Cincinnati Trophy Stakes. Has showed ability to close in the first race. So even if it's outside, it at least has shown that being behind horses isn't necessarily going to be a detriment where the horse can't overcome that. I don't foresee distance being an issue. Coupled figures last time, so 92, 93 for me with a 3-year-old, seeing 2 figures close to that. With the expectations of a 23% trainer, ideally you're going to get another jump, which would obviously outdo the 94 that we just talked about with Golden Sunshine. And also, this horse has 2 wins over this surface. I'm not going to take that lightly in this type of race. So I will use White Rocks. The horse is 3-1. Is that the favoritism?
I believe so. I believe that is the favoritism. Is 3-1 here.
Favorite. Going off here, RaceLens has the true odds at 4-1. Has White Rocks on top with 19%, but you could see with 19%, 18%, 11, 10, 10. RaceLens is telling you that this is a pretty wide open race, and so you could go a lot of different angles, and could be right, which I think is evident by the way we structured our tickets, where we have 5 horses and they're all different.
Yep.
You decided to use one more on your ticket. Last second ad as we were taping, you said, I want to add one more.
Yep. I would like to. I added the number 12. Will then. I like that. Like this horse, just based off of last year's form, was running very well. Ran increased every time at 3 different tracks. Won the last 2. The maiden race wasn't fantastic at Kentucky Downs, but it's Kentucky Downs. Some horses just hate that track, so I'll go with that. But just from a speed figure standpoint, if this one makes the jump from 2 to 3, I feel like it just like this horse already fits in with the rest of them. Coming out of a grade 3, which she won. She beat another horse that was in this field. The second place finisher came back to win its next start out of that race. I'm just hoping she makes the logical jump. And again, I think she's going to be a price. Jonathan Thomas is he's one of those trainers. He's got a smaller barn, but he does very, very well. So I just thought this horse fit with pedigree wise and everything that, if this horse makes the jump from 2 to 3, I thought in a wide open race, I would hate to get beat by a horse coming in off the layoff at a price that was already a graded stakes winner. So I'll take a shot here. But yeah, last second ad. Don't love the post. Who knows off the bench, but I'm willing to take the shot.
Yeah, I think your concern might be, is there enough pace up front for the style that the horse closed into last time, right?
Yeah, but even in the race 2 back, like yes, it was a maiden race and at Woodbine, but was a lot closer to the pace. So I don't necessarily know if she needs to be that far back. I hope she's not that far back today. I kind of hope she's, I think she's going to be farther. She's not going to be like on the pace, but I think like if the 11 breaks out like she did last time, I'm hoping that she's like within a couple lengths of that second flight. of horses. I think that would be, I like second. If she can like just carve out a trip in the 4 path where she's clear, but she's only a few lengths back of that second flight, I think she could be dangerous turning for home.
We turn our attention to the Colts for the Kentucky Derby Trail. 100 points on the line in the Jeff Ruby Stakes, going a mile and an eighth. Purse of 777,000. Field of 13 with an also entered Candy Town. A couple of horses here that are you mentioned earlier in our other video by the name of Poster, who's one that you have high expectations for. California Burrito returns to the scene of the crime of the John Battaglia Memorial, where this horse went wire to wire over this same surface. California Burrito is 2 for 3 here at Turfway. Has handled the mile in the 16th. We'll see if they can step up and go the mile in the 8th. I'm pretty high on California Burrito here. I think this is a good spot for a horse who's shown basically what I just said, basically being able to handle the surface, the speed figure of the 98. I kind of have my stock in that John Battaglia Memorial as the key race coming back here to Turfway. You determined that there's another race that you think is key coming into this race that has led you to the 8 poster. 9
Yeah.
poster, sorry.
Yeah. If you watched our doubling down for Louisiana, I'll say it again. I think the Sam F. Davis, I think, is going to end up being a key race here. You got Owen Almighty, who's got enough points for the Derby. John Hancock I think, has a very good chance in the Louisiana Derby. Poster ran third there, and if you go back and watch that race, there was no pace really for Poster. It was not the fastest of paces, and I want to say, I believe John Hancock does go wire to wire. Yeah, Owen Almighty sat second. So he closes and gets third behind 2 horses that pretty much ended up walking their way around the track against each other. It was just it was just an unfortunate slow pace. Like, they went fast early and then they slowed it down late. And Poster just really never had a great chance at catching them, but he finishes the race nicely. The horse won the Remsen last year, so hard to believe he was fully cranked for the Sam F. Davis. I think you're going to see a much fitter horse today out of him, and with the added distance, and I do think there is a little more pace in here with California Burrito. I think this horse just sets up very nicely today.
Poster made my top 5 most exciting finishes in the Derby Trail so far. With this race in the Remsen against Aviator Guy, we'll play that for you because in the stretch here, that was really exciting finish as Poster holds on.
Yep. Yeah, he just holds on, but like, yeah, I just think this horse is. I think this horse makes sense here. I don't know if Turfway was the original plan. I forget the name of the. Is it First Resort? I believe it was. Is the other Hardy horse that got hurt? I believe this was supposed to be the original spot for First Resort. But then with First Resort, I believe, being sidelined, this became the spot for Poster. So that injury happened long enough ago that I'm kind of okay with them audibling Poster here. I do believe Poster was probably, if I had to guess, I would believe Poster probably was originally going to be scheduled to run last weekend in Tampa Bay. But nonetheless, I think this spot fits fine for him. I think he's won at a mile and an eighth on the dirt at Aqueduct, so the distance I don't think is a problem. I just hope he gets a little bit better of a pace and trip today.
Mark, our loyal follower here on the channel, will certainly agree with you in the comments because on many of our top 10 videos, he has said, "You guys are idiots for leaving off Poster because of the performance."
I hope he's that good. That'd be great. He's on my. He's one of the horses running on my fantasy team this weekend, so I would love that.
You should have disclaimed before you put Poster on your ticket that's why maybe you're.
I actually really like him in this spot. I don't always think the horse.
To make that pick for your fantasy team, or was that you?
No, that was me. I really liked. I had the last. I had Dornock last year. I drafted Dornock last year when he won the Remsen, and he did better than I ever thought he was going to. He got me. I ended up finishing fourth in a 12-person league because Dornock won the Belmont. So that ended up being something. Yeah, it's a tough league, and we draft him in December. So the fact that that ended up working out with Dornock was great, and I'm like, I struck gold once with the Remsen winner. Let me try it again.
I'm going to use the 8 Innovator as my horse on top here in the Jeff Ruby Stakes. Vinny, I'll walk you through a few reasons. First off, 15-1. Can't argue with that. Second off, I think Dwayne Lucas is right in the spot right now where he's going to come off of last week and maybe have another big one this week, hopefully. And I want to do something for you. Remember we talked about American Promise, and I told you that with RaceLens,
Yeah,
it'll highlight races that for the purse, it'll make the purses that are either equal or higher yellow. So you can quickly go through and look and see, has this horse, at least from a purse standpoint, been running against in similar races in similar spots. Only one horse in this whole race, just like American Promise last week. American Promise did have 2 of them, but as I cycle through, there's your highlighted one.
yeah,
That's me. That's me highlighting poster because we were talking about that race as being key. That's not the
yeah,
system doing it. That was me highlighting. He's not joking. In fact, that I think this horse likes the synthetic. It's only Innovator. So that jumps out at me, at least off the top. I'm telling you, it sounds like a silly angle, but you'd be surprised how many times I go through, and the horses that are running in those types of races do really well. Now, the horse finished 20 lengths behind that day, but that was against Cole Battle, who this horse was second to in the first, second call. They're not going to be going 22:45 here in the turf in this Jeff Ruby Stakes. So I think that that's going to benefit a horse like Innovator. Look at the races prior to that, and you can look at those back to back. 100 and 102 over the Oaklawn surface. Those are speed figures that absolutely put the horse in business. I think this horse is going to be overlooked, and I think that he's the only one that's shown early speed on the surface. I'm sorry.
I mean, he almost beat Barnes like 5 starts ago.
Yeah.
So like not bad. Yeah. I mean, and this is another reason. I mean, I think there is pace today with this horse. I actually like that, like for running in a key race. I like that angle. I actually think that race though, I feel like you can just like the way that track ran that day. I mean, just like I'm fine with him finishing 12th. I have no problem if you think this horse can go gate the wire here, because I think that track ran very very weird on what is that, the Rebel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a weird track. The other speed, like, like he broke okay, but then like that was a weird race where they kind of just let Matacat Road get out by himself. That was a weird race, and then like nobody really moved from the back of the pack. Sandman ended up getting up late as the favorite for third, but like really like Cold Battle sat like the perfect pocket trip, and Matacat Road just hit the sprinter wall with like a 16th to go. So I'm fine with that.
Lucas puts Nick Juarez aboard, who is 23%, 39 starts, positive ROI of 32%. So a combination there as well.
He's aggressive too.
Aggressive. They're all signs that point to I think you get a nice price here with Innovator. So I'm putting a few on my ticket, and then we agree on the number 6. I'll let you talk about Baby Max.
Yeah, this horse just shows up every time.
Yeah,
and he almost won last time out. He won 2 back. He almost won 3 back. He won at Churchill going a mile and a 16th. He's just like a game little horse, and he's gonna get the pace today. He's gonna get the pace today. He gets the added distance today. I don't necessarily know if he really wants the added distance, but like this horse just doesn't fire bad races. So like he's one of those horses. He might not win here. And like even if he does win, I don't know if they probably will go to the Derby because he does have a win at Churchill. But like he just seems like a game little horse. He does everything right. He just doesn't always win, but I would be shocked if he runs a dud. Like he might run second or third here, but like yeah, I think turning for home, he'll be in with a chance unless there's just like a freak runaway winner. And this was a great stretch battle here. He ends up losing by a half a length late, but I don't think it was the worst loss. So I'll give him another shot.
I will as well. And before we get out of here, good luck to the number 5 Flying Mohawk, whose owner, Jason Worth, is obviously a former baseball player who is owner of Doorknock, and I think really brings some great attention to the sport. And it's always nice to have someone like him. Now that Getaway Car might not make it based on Vinny's progression, so we don't know if we're
Yeah,
going to get Taylor
we'll
Swift
see.
at the Derby. Be nice to get Jason
Yeah,
Worth there.
right.
This
I'm
horse is
I'm
phenomenal.
curious if that horse is on the bubble. I feel like we're gonna see some last minute scratches if that horse gets in. I don't think they're gonna pass up that kind of money.
Let's take a look at Vinny and my ticket as we hit the wrong button. There we go. Turfway Park, race 11 and 12. I'm going to go 8-11 with the 3-6-8. That'll cost you $6. Vinny will go 2-3-12 with the 6-9. That'll also cost you $6. We both can't win, so I hate to see that, but hopefully we get through that first leg, and then we're cheering for
One of us. Yep. I was like, that was what? That was you last weekend, right? You got you hit American Promise, and then we did the race after, right? I believe.
We did
Or did we
fondly
do the race
before.
Oh yeah, we both had the race before, and then you had American Promise. So
Yes.
hey, as long as one of us wins, it's a success. Hopefully we both stay in the green throughout the year. But as long as one of us wins, it was worth the watch, right?
That's right. We cheer for each other, and we cheer for all of you as well. So throw in the comments who you like for the Daily Double, both for this video and then spin on over and check out the Louisiana Derby if you haven't seen it yet. He's Vinny. I'm Colin. Until next time, good luck, everyone.